All right, there's still a lot of uncertainty around tonight about seats, so let's get the latest on the count with Sky News Chief Election Analyst Tom Connell. A brilliant job on Saturday night, I've got to say, at the top of the show tonight for you, Tom. I know my audience valued your insights. Give us a sense of where we are. 76 is the golden number to get a majority. Where's Labor at tonight?
More progress in the past hour. We're ready to call another seat that does progress Labor towards 76, Peter. It comes down to postal votes. They have been coming in as of yesterday and today. Bennelong is a seat, of course, held by the Liberal Party. John Alexander previously held that. You can see at the moment on these postal votes, let's look at two-party preferred. They're going 54 to 45 to the Liberal Party. The problem is for them right now, they need them to go up more than 58% to win this seat. On our projection right now, the last batch of postals we had went slightly worse to the Liberal Party compared to before. So this is actually not the situation they need. Our projection at the moment for this seat overall, and let's just remind ourselves of where the margin is at the moment in the overall seat, beyond the postal votes, which are flowing a Liberal way, it's going 50.96 to 49.04. Now that's close, but on these projections at the moment with the way the postals are flowing and factoring in absentee votes as well, what we've got is Labor ahead 50.7. That last batch of postal votes gave us the confidence to say, even though the computer's saying too close, we've used our formula. We're saying this is a Labor Party win, this particular seat. So they're going to win the seat of Bennelong off the Liberal Party. This is crucial given how tight this contest is. Let's remind ourselves where we're at. These are the gains and losses we're projecting. 10 to Labor. They started the election on 69. They get to 79 then, but they've lost Griffith and Fowler. So when they're back on 77, they can afford to lose one more seat. These are the seats. We still don't know how they'll go. Now, on our projections so far, though, we think Deakin will be a hold for the Liberal Party. Let's give them that seat for argument's sake. That keeps Labor on 77. But we think McNamara as well is a hold for Labor. That's a very strong chance they hold that against the Greens. Then you get down to this situation where Labor, at this point, actually has to lose 2 seats to lose that majority, both Lingiari and Gilmore. Gilmore is right on the edge. So let's have a quick look at Gilmore in New South Wales and see how tight that is tracking right now. This is one Labor is trying to fend off and on the two-party preferred at the moment, 50.15. Andrew Constance, Peter, is just ahead. Our projection at the moment has him winning 50.25. That's obviously far too tight to call. We don't know. A slight change in the postals, slightly unexpected in terms of absent votes and how they go, mean this seat could flip. But clearly there's a chance Labor loses it and that gets them to 76. The good thing for Labor's point of view is then you get to the Northern Territory and Lingiari. So Lingiari is a seat, we're not calling it, but we're very close to doing so. Labor is ahead 51.23 to 48.77. We just want to see a few more postals or an absent count, an absent ballot, if you like, coming in, one batch of them, and then we'd be willing to call it. Not quite willing to do it just yet. It's a funny seat, as you know, Lingiari, Peter. It's quite sort of volatile.
I do.
So at this stage, we won't. But Labor is a minimum there on 76. Even if it loses Gilmore, I think they hold on to 76 right now. I'm just holding off hitting the button for now.
Right, what's their best case scenario, Tom? And then take me through the primary vote for the majors.
So the best case for Labor, I think, is they win Brisbane. They hold on to all of these seats here. And look, there's still even technically a possibility in Deakin, but I don't think they'll win that. Where does that get us? 77 seats to Labor, 78 with Brisbane and holding them. So that would allow them a relatively comfortable majority. I say relatively, I mean, it's no 90 seats that Tony Abbott managed, but they get to install a speaker and have an extra buffer. So that's where they'd be in that situation. I think that's a distinct possibility, but we'll be counting for a few days on that. And polling's really interesting. I know you've been interested in the primary vote overall. Having a look at the national primary, here's where it's at. Liberal Party 35.8 or the LNP, Labor 32.76. Two things on that. First of all, the swings there. Labor is not picking up vote. It's losing vote from a low vote already, but it's the loss in the LNP vote at 5.63. That was always going to be almost impossible to form government when you're losing that much. But also the polling. So News Poll, the last one, had the LNP at 35, pretty good. It had Labor at 36. It's missed that by somewhat. It has had Greens at 12, so it's pretty accurate on that front. Where it's missed vote mainly is that Labor primary. Two-party preferred, remember, as well. It had 53.47. So it has missed that mark. I'm sure we'll hear more after the election. It did at least get the result this time round.
All right, tomorrow night you're coming back because I want to go right through the Senate vote now that we know a little bit more out of that count. Thank you, Tom Connell.